Hello and welcome back to my channel where we do art, talk about being a stay-at-home mom sometimes, talk about what life is like doing a small business as a stay-at-home mom, and really just learning how to grow as an artist. That's the season of life that I find myself in recently, is just learning how to grow as an artist. I never had any formal art education other than what I was able to receive in high school. So in a lot of ways, I feel like I have so much room to grow and learn from other artists, people that just have more experience and have spent more time making art and trying different things than what I have in my life. So that's something that I try and show on my channel, or try and talk about, just the importance of growing and letting yourself try new things to grow, and to be okay whenever there are seasons that you don't really feel like you're growing at all. Your creative side seems slow or maybe hindered. But I just want to tell you that those seasons come and go, and whenever they come, embrace them. Let them do what they will do. And whenever that season of slowness passes, then you're ready for the next creative endeavors. It kind of makes the slow seasons seem worth it. So in this video, you will see me drawing a house in my sketchbook, and I have been loving drawing in my sketchbook lately. I think I've discovered the joy of making things or drawing things just for the sake of drawing them, which is something that I experienced more in high school. But after high school, whenever I started selling art more, and especially since I started my small business, Amos Art, it was hard for me to remember to create or just to draw just for the fun of it, because I felt like my time was really valuable. And so if I wanted to make a small business successful, then I would need to spend all that time creating things that I would be able to sell, or trying to think of something that I would be able to sell or market to people, or like that whole side of things. And I think that is part of what brought me to like a creative slump this past 3 months. I just kind of forgot that I just like drawing, or I just like painting or creating things with my hands. My sketchbook has been a really good way for me to remind myself that it's okay to make something, and it doesn't have to benefit or bring any kind of profit to my small business. It can just be for drawing. And that has been really good for my creative process and growing as an artist, because I end up trying things that maybe I wouldn't have, because my thought process would be, oh, what if this isn't marketable to people, or what if people aren't interested in this kind of art or the subject that I'm drawing? And so then I wouldn't do it, even though it was something that I was interested in trying to recreate or trying to draw. And you know what? It's kind of fun to share the artwork that I create in my sketchbooks, knowing that I'm just sharing it for the sake of sharing it, which feels really refreshing, instead of sharing something in the hopes that it would bring profit. I just want to be real about that reality of the tension of trying to create as your job and trying to create just because you want to create or make something. It's honestly a challenging balance to find for me, and that's definitely something that I am trying to figure out. I think doing YouTube actually helps me remember more about just creating to create, because I get to create something and share it with you, and I don't necessarily have to try and sell that thing that I'm creating, or I don't have to try and make prints of it or turn it into stickers. I don't have as much pressure on myself to try and turn it into something. I don't know what it is about drawing houses right now, but there's something that feels really like comforting about it, or sentimental maybe. I think it's because I am spending so much time at home with my toddler that I'm becoming more grateful, and as I'm drawing houses, it makes me think about who lives there and like what do they do? Do they have family or kids, or do they have pets? Do they live alone? Like, do they invite people over often, or do they like to have quiet evenings by themselves? Did they plant the plants in the front? Who mowed their grass? I don't know, it just makes me think of the value of a home, whether you own it or you rent it, and whether you like live with family or live alone or live with friends. I don't know, I find myself thinking and feeling really grateful for the space that we have in our home and trying to make it something that is special and a space that we really want to be in. I grew up on a farm, so now living in the city feels very different, and I often think about my childhood and the things that I was doing versus my son's childhood and the things that he spends time doing. And there are a lot of things that are very different, and he is getting to experience things that I never did, and I experience things that he is not experiencing now. And there's some like sadness in that, but there's also a lot of things to be thankful for in that. Cool to see how my art and what I'm thinking or what I'm experiencing kind of outside of art kind of merges together, and that's why I wanted to draw this house. Yeah, this was a lot of fun to do. My process with coloring this is just adding layers of color and texture on top of each other, kind of lightly, and then eventually as I am adding more and more layers, the whole thing gets a little bit darker, or I add shadows where there are supposed to be shadows. Something that I love experimenting with colored pencils is using colors that you wouldn't normally use to create shadows or different shapes. I don't know, I think colored pencils are so fun to do that with, because as you layer, you can still see the yellow that I initially colored the house in, but then I colored brown over it. But like, you can still see the yellow underneath the brown. And so it's fun to just experiment with different colors and see how things turn out. I love the texture that colored pencil gives a piece, and it makes it feel so cozy. Like, that's kind of the best word that I have to describe colored pencils. I don't know, they have become something that I am like really enjoying lately. So follow along if you'd like to see more art like this. Yeah, I kind of do a variety of things on my channel, and I'm really new at this, so I'm still figuring out what I like to talk about and what I like to share on my channel. So if you'd like to see me learn as I go and learn along with me, then feel free to hit that subscribe button, and I will see you in the next video.